Hello and welcome back here on the Rotten Block server. Things have been going very well for me. My new stores have been doing fantastic. The underground sponge gambling has been doing fantastic. I calculated it earlier, and it was like 4.5 stacks of diamonds just from people gambling for sponges. So yeah, pretty profitable. Probably one of my most profitable ventures. Maybe not quite as profitable as the horses, but let's just say I've got a lot of diamonds now. But some other big news that has happened over here in my new buildings is we have a new member on the server. His name's Mike, and he's been having a blast playing, and we've been having a blast playing with him. And I met up with him the other day, and here's what happened. Hiya, Mike. How you doing?
Hey, are you Natalie?
Oh yeah, that's me.
I saw the ad for the vacancy.
Yeah,
And it looks
I made a new build the other day. These two actually, and their upper floors are just totally vacant right now.
Yeah, so the only problem is I can only pay cash right now.
Well, I mean that's good with me. I love cash, so I'll take it all.
All right.
Is
Um,
there anyone you're particularly interested in?
can we have a look?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go over here into the first build. So the bottom floor is a bit of a coffee shop. If that's your type of vibe, maybe you'd like this one. But if you make your way up the stairs in the back over here, this would be the first option for an apartment. Bit long. You got the stairs going on the side. Maybe this is your vibe, or maybe the one above is your vibe. You get a bit of a better vantage point from up here because you're higher up. And I think the ceiling looks a lot nicer. And you don't have a staircase quite going through the room, so this is definitely the premium version if you're interested. And if you want, we can also go check out the other building, those apartments. So over here in the nice little blue townhouse, we've got a bookstore down here at the bottom. So maybe if this is more your vibe, maybe this is the place you want to stay. With the stairs being over here, if you make your way up, we've actually got this floor actually is totally furnished currently. So we've got a separate room over here. It's a nice little bedroom with like a little nook for writing at your desk and a little like lookout area where you could sit down. It's quite a nice place. And then if you want to make your way upstairs, we've also got the top floor, which is a bit of an attic space, but it's got quite high ceiling still. So it's got plenty of space, even though it is an attic. And it does have a little balcony you can see out from, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just want to get a look at the front of the builds.
sure, yeah.
These both look pretty interesting. Hmm. I think I like the first one more. The
Okay.
coffee shop.
Um,
Um,
do you want to do just one of the floors, both of the floors? What are you feeling?
Probably just one floor for now.
Okay.
Um, Now, how much are we talking here?
Oof. Well, depending on which floor you want, do you want the more premium one with the nice ceiling and the better vantage point, or are you looking for the more economy option?
Probably the economy option. I'm a bit strapped for cash at the moment.
Okay. I think the economy option, we're gonna do it on a per month basis, if that's okay with you. It'll be, let's say, one diamond block a month.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Would you like it to be furnished, by the way? That comes included if you're interested, or you can furnish it yourself.
I could probably just furnish it myself. Is there like a there isn't like a Walmart nearby, is there?
No, there's no Walmarts. Thank goodness. I hate the big box stores. They look so
All
ugly.
local here. All right. Yeah, I'll figure something out, but that sounds good.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to having you in there.
Gotta go. Oh no. Well, I'm in the business of keeping creeps off the streets, so
Well, apparently we had one right across the street. So Mike has actually moved into that floor up there. We can go take a peek, not to be too rude, but just to see what he's been up to. I actually really like how he's done like the blackout curtains and made a little study for himself, and he's got his cookies too. So I don't know. It's awesome that he's staying here with us, and I still need to get around to decorating some of these rooms. But maybe if I just rent them all out, I won't even have to worry about decorating them because other people will come in and decorate them for me. Now, one of the things I didn't actually catch on camera, but Mike's been very busy. He's been setting up a bunch of shops over here in Eggtown, and he wants me to redo one of his shops already. So he already built a bunch of shops and then already dislikes one enough that he thought, hey, I could get Natalie to build one because I guess I'm pretty good at that stuff now. So this is the build over here that we're going to be redoing. I'm going to be redoing the whole exterior, but I figure we're also kind of do the interior as well while we're at it. It's really hard to do the interior though, because there's only, that was weird. Oh, pressure plate. It's kind of hard because it's such a thin space, right? A lot of times with my builds, I like to do like 2 layers, blocks thick of like outside wall, but we can't really do that here because of the like amount of space. And then up here, we do have a bit of like ceiling space if we want to keep it at the same level. But again, this room's pretty tight. And the reason why it's tight is if we go all the way around back here, oh my gosh, quite the travel. There's like a bit of an alleyway back here. I guess it's turned into something quite big. This isn't how I used to see it before. More chambers upstairs. Whoa. Well, suffice it to say, there's a lot of stuff going on back here. So we're going to have to be careful that we can't move the walls back any further, right? We've got just kind of the space that's laid out currently for the build, and we're just revamping it so hopefully the outside looks a bit prettier and maybe the inside as well. And I thought this would be like a good opportunity to show you guys like how to make a build better and how to like improve it without like totally changing it, because I'm going to try my hardest to keep the general like feel of the build, like similar colors, similar like pattern to the style of it, but just like improve the quality so it is quite so many planks all over. But to do that, let me actually take you over to my creative world where I've got a copy of the build and I'll be actually doing all the modifications before I bring it over here on the server. So welcome to my actual like building world where I do all my building pretty much nowadays. And then I transferred over to the survival world, but I thought I would actually take you guys through the process now here over on the creative world instead of just kind of showing you the end result. And you might recognize it from some of my building tutorials, but I also do a bunch of other stuff here. And there's also some stuff from when I was less good of a builder, and I keep it around to remind myself to never do that again. That one in particular, it's very large and annoying to look at. But we've got a copy over here of Mike's build for his wood shop, and I tried to copy a bunch of the other stuff that was around it. Now, this was a bit of an earlier copy because he's been so hard at work with stuff, so it doesn't have any of the stuff over on this side or in that alleyway. But it's got enough of like the road and this store over here that I think we've got a general idea of what's around it, because I like to try to copy like what's around the build when I'm going to work on it. That's what I did over here. I copied FGC when I was working on these. And then similarly, when I was working over here, I copied the road and Renee's like goth building over here. But besides actually just having the copy of it and what was around it, I've also got what was the original inspiration for this build. Mike had posted this on our Discord while he was working on this project, and you can see a lot of the inspiration in the actual build itself. There are some deviations that he made, which I think were probably for the better, but maybe not quite the right direction to go with, because I didn't see this in the original picture, but there wasn't these logs over on like the edges, and I think the like idea of having something to frame it on either side is really good, because it's something that I do a lot in mine, right? I get like framing on the sides or over here on the sides. So I'm going to probably similarly do that, but I'm not going to use wood, because using wood for framing reminds me of like medieval times when like the wooden framing was really like shown and prominent, right? In like modern buildings, you don't even see like wood framing at all practically, unless you've got like a very specific type of architecture. Something also that I want to add into this build that I didn't see that is very common in my builds is like the horizontal lines, right? You've kind of got like big squares or rectangles or whatever going on in all the builds, right? And so I want to incorporate that over here. And of course, you kind of get rectangular like parts anyways, just with the different colors. But I really want to like separate it with like a proper like dividing line because I think that'll look good. But probably the most important part that I'm going to be changing is I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of these planks because I think there's just too much going on. I talked about this in my latest building tutorial video, but I've been more and more thinking about like what it means to like texture a build, and it isn't just like what blocks you're using, like the color of them, I should say. It also like is determined by the actual like texture of the blocks themselves that you're using. And planks have a lot of texture to them because they've got all these horizontal lines and some vertical ones sporadically in there. And so it's just got like a lot going on compared to like a log that's like really smooth. So I feel like there's almost too much chaotically going around in like the texture of all the blocks. So I'm going to be replacing a lot of them with like smoother versions, and then we'll be adding some other like fun texturing in there later. So I was looking at these planks and I was like, I think sandstone would be kind of good for that. If you look at like the original picture that was used as inspiration, I feel like sandstone will be pretty close. I wish there was like a brick version of this, but unfortunately we don't have that. There is no sandstone bricks in the game or nothing quite like it in that color space. So I feel like sandstone by itself will be good. And then we'll obviously have like the stairs and slabs and stuff, which won't be smooth, which will help add some texture in occasionally. The other part that I'm going to be changing is obviously the wood like structure on the sides. Like I said, I don't really think like wood framing on modern builds is really makes sense. So I'm going to be trying to use some stone over on the edges because I feel like that'll look pretty good. It goes really well with the sandstone, of course, and it also goes well with the terracotta that I'm going to be using to replace the acacia down here. And all these are fairly smooth. This one's got a bit of texture because of the like edge of it. But we're going to be throwing in some blocks elsewhere to also add some texture into it. Maybe some actual like brick blocks that'll go well with terracotta, I think. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be changing the shape ever so slightly. Again, I'm going to be trying to keep it generally the same, but I feel like these windows over here are too close to the edge. So I'm going to be kind of compressing things in a bit, but still keeping it very frequent windows. And generally trying to keep the whole atmosphere of the build. And now with the initial ideas out of the way, it's just kind of time to get at it, right? Actually trying things out, seeing what works. Maybe some of my block choices won't actually work in the end, right? And then you got to make changes like mid-build, which is totally fine. And that's why we do it in creative, because it's so much easier to make changes instead of in survival where it takes forever to tear things down and try something new. But while I have to spend a bunch of time working on the actual building process, you guys get to watch another clip that I got earlier where I was told to record when I get on the server. So let's see what that was about. So I just jumped back onto the server, and Renee told me that the next time I'm in the shopping district, which is right here, I live in the shopping district, that I should be recording. And I'm pretty sure it's because of a new shop that he built. He had already set like a plan, a little area out behind that build over there where he was going to build it, but he wasn't very descriptive on what it was, besides that I would both love it and hate it. So I guess I gotta go check it out. I honestly have no idea what to expect. What could be so interesting? I'm just trying to like process it. It's just... I don't know what this means. Melon pie. What? Get your golden fapoons today at Carrot Cafe. I feel like there's a lot going on here. I feel like that's irrelevant to the melon pie, and something about this feels very familiar to something else. He actually fit the word next to the word pie, whereas mine couldn't, so I feel like that's a bit of a bonus in his direction. Though I feel like the color scheme is less strong. I feel like my color scheme was better. So a bonus for me, a bonus for him. Well, let's go inside. Let's see. He's using the awesome doors. I love these doors. That's a bonus to him. He's got an awesome doorbell. That's a bonus to him. Bulk pies. He's selling melon pies in here. Wait, 1 diamond for 64. Oh no, I'm only selling one diamond for 48. I need to go prove my prices. He's got a little dog here serving you. Oh man. Oh my gosh. This is so bad. Try a freshly harvested melon slice for free. Free. Oh, there it is. I got a 48 for free? I'm so confused. I mean, they taste good though, but they take forever to eat. Oh yeah, you can just buy melons also. Interesting. He's also got the spare pie in the corner. Honestly, I didn't even notice that the floor is such a good choice for this. I mean, it blends in a little bit much with like the walls, but I kind of love it. Okay, now I have to go up because I have to see what's going on up here. There is a water stream going into this water stream. Then there's up here. Oh, this is where the melon is. I feel like this is a lot less complex than mine was. Yeah, this just flows down there. He only has 1 farm in his building. I have 3 farms in mine, and it automatically crafts them into pies, so that's a bonus towards me, obviously. Well, though, you can't get out of the farm if you're stuck here, apparently. Okay, so things that I'm noticing. He's got better prices than me, so that needs to immediately get fixed because, well, it says right here that they're actually just pumpkin pies. So, you know, he's essentially selling my food, but for cheaper. So I've got to sell it for even cheaper. I don't know. Probably just the same price. I don't want to do a pie war. That doesn't sound like fun. Sounds delicious, but not fun. Wait, I have to know, is there just a big melon pie on the side? There sort of is. It's very green, though. Wasn't the melon pie in here kind of red? It is very red. I guess he's going for the monotone look like mine was, right? Mine was also pretty monotone. Though, I think I actually know what this is. The Carrot Cafe is supposed to be over here around the corner. So let's actually go check that out to go see what that's about. But I think over here, yes, this is the Carrot Cafe. Not quite of a grand sign as the other buildings. Ooh, this is nice. I like this little cozy interior. And it's got like a little cash register, right? Because it's got like the little sign up here that shows you like how much you're owed or need to pay, right? Golden carrots, awesome. Golden fapoons. They both say that they're golden carrots, but one of them is just more expensive than the other. I suppose it's for the fancy texturing, but I feel like that's not a good deal. Huh. I really like this cash register, though. It's like, it's so nice. Little keyboard. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be, right? The little sign. Oh, it's just beautiful. The interior, I love it. It's even got a little bush. And we've also got 2 shops here that now do bartering stuff, I'm pretty sure. Which is up there, which I think you can get to, yeah, over there, Barter Harder, and then over here, which is Count Shop, which I think the inside is still getting renoed, but he's gonna hopefully be selling stuff in there too, which is just a bastion, but he's like renovating it to be a shop, which is kind of a cool idea. So the build is done. I ended up adding some granite as well to this bottom section because I needed some slabs over here for these parts of the windows. and I thought granite kind of looked the best. And I also added some down here because I love adding a bit of a foundation and raising up your builds off the actual ground, like one block, which I noticed Mike hasn't been doing with his other ones. So, not that that's easy to go back and do, but just for the future, I think that's a good thing to add to builds. It just creates a little bit of like an elevation difference without being like too severe. And then I also made it into a little like corner door over here, which I thought was really cool. And I was talking about originally how I just wanted these to be one block thick, right? These windows and walls. These top windows up here actually ended up being 2 blocks thick because I need the glass in the back because I really wanted to add these slabs because it gave me the right amount of like depth, the height depth, right? Like between this window and then that above. And like full blocks there were just like too much. So it was like the right thing to do. And I think I made it work on the interior. And then on the top here, I kept the kind of same window shapes and kind of same whole design, but just made it a little bit nicer in my opinion. The planks were just a bit too much, I think. And trying to smooth things out with some smoother texture blocks while still keeping some blocks in there with some high amount of texture on them, I think really helps pull things together. And one of the best parts of it, besides just the beautiful outside, is also the beautiful insides. Let's go check that out. So I also did the full interior, like I said I was going to. I moved most of the woods to be down here. There's still a few upstairs because I couldn't quite fit them all down here. But I try to put like all the like original wood types down here, or like the, I don't know, it depends on what you call original. As many as I could fit down here in sort of like order as they came out, right? And then the like more newer woods are up there. And then we've also got the nether woods down here because there was a nice little spot for them and they kind of go together. And I really liked how these like little interior pillars turned out because I was trying to figure out how to incorporate this extra glass that came in towards the interior without it looking too weird. And so I feel like that kind of helps make it not look so weird while also giving some good interior detail. And then over here on this side, we have an ender chest because, of course, you need one in a shop. And we also have the bargain bin, which he had set up before. And I put all the extra materials that I got from tearing down his original one into here, except for the few things that weren't wood-based that I'll just put an extra chest for him, as long also these diamonds that he got from his shop. So I'll leave that for him later. But nice little other section over here. And then up at the top, I had to get a bit more creative because there was less things to sell up here because I'd moved it most downstairs. So we got the few other wood types over here. He was also selling chests, so I put that there. And then I just sort of started filling the space as if it's like a very crowded, cramped little storage area, right? I imagine this is like sort of like a hardware store that's just got like big shelves of stuff. And then sometimes things are strewn about on shelves here and there and in little boxes. And it's also got pretty little flowers because I thought it looked nice. Not because the flowers are important at all to a hardware shop, but they brighten the mood. Also, if you were wondering what was on my hotbar over here, we've got these little cookies now on the server. Me and Count are going to be selling them. They're little Millennium Falcon shaped, and we're calling them, oh, what was it? Chewy chocolate chips, which I thought was a great little pun. And Count is actually setting up the shop over by my pie shop way down that way. But he's still working on it currently. And also, I figure I don't want to spoil it for his video. But they are really delicious. The hyperdrives especially, that little bit of frosting on the end. Mm-mm-mm. So let me know down in the comments if you think this was a good improvement on the build, if you were thinking maybe it wasn't quite as good, if there was some things in Mike's original design that you liked better, or if there's something that you think this one's currently missing. I know it's kind of still pretty bland overall, but I feel like it's gotten a lot better detail-wise than it was before, and it looks a lot more pleasing on the eye, at least to my opinion. And I guess I should also state for those wondering, Mike actually paid me 5 diamond blocks for this. I kind of forgot to mention it originally, so that's what I got. And with that, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one, where we'll have to be dealing with a certain someone.